with people.
Exactly.
Are you ready? Are you ready? So you're like, did you film this in a different country? Can you see us over there? Welcome to the fall season of Ask the Agent, where I am joined here by George Hutton in the beautiful setting of Dalkey. And we're going to talk all about his singing career, his acting career, and his modelling career. A multi-dimensional human being, George.
Stop.
Listen, pleasure, and thank you for joining me here today.
Thank you, Orla.
And listen, I want you to tell everybody a little bit about yourself and your own background.
Well, I suppose, yeah, I first and foremost, I started out as a singer. You know, I grew up from no age. I mean, I remember singing in the Fish as a kid and having a real love for singing. It always felt like a very natural way to express myself even when I was a very shy child, believe it or not, I was. And I suppose that gave me, I just loved how it felt. It made me, it always lit me up. And then as I got a bit older, in my teenage years, I would have done a lot of sean-nós singing, which is the traditional form of Irish singing, where you sing a cappella, so you're singing everything with no instrumentation. So that I think there was always a storyteller in me. There was always, I don't know, I always felt a real connection to the land, and that's something that I think from there, that kind of grew my interest in collaborating with other singers and musicians. I think that's where, I don't know, it was something that I started to realize. People started to tell me I needed to take it a bit more seriously. And so from there, I'd say when I was about 16, 17, I started doing singing grades, and I did everything that is required of a singer. Did my final grade 8 exam when I was 21. And then I moved to Dublin in 2012, where I auditioned for a group called Inuna, who were the original singers in Riverdance. Toured with them for 4 years. Then I became one of the 5 Irish Tenors in 2017, toured America. Then Phil Coutler, an amazing composer, also a great Derry man. He caught wind of my work and invited me to go on tour with him. I've been touring with Phil for 5 years, and I've just recently signed with the Celtic Tenors, which, I suppose that's a quick sort of breakdown of my singing career.
Massive career highlight there recently. And you were in Canada, I believe.
Yes, we were in Canada shooting a PBS special for American television, which that will go out now in November. Which is very exciting because my whole life, like I remember when I was very young, I watched a PBS special with Inuna, and I remember saying to myself, I'd love to do that someday. Fast forward X number of years, and here we are. So yeah, no, it was a huge highlight for me.
Of course, another highlight last year, I think, that we all remember is that Hugh Jackman became your best friend.
Yeah, I was very fortunate to work with Hugh on. There's a new movie coming out next year called The Death of Robin Hood, where Hugh plays Robin Hood, and I was very lucky to be his photo and body double for 10 weeks. So
he's better looking than Hugh Jackman.
I don't know about that now. Don't be listening to that, Hugh. But it was such an honour. I mean, he
seems like a really nice guy.
He is that and more.
Okay.
He's just
great.
It was such a pleasure because he was never short in giving me his time, and he offered me amazing advice, and as you know, we stay in touch. You know, it's just amazing.
It's amazing. And now he shared you on his own Instagram, which, you know, is phenomenal because often that does not happen.
It doesn't
happen.
It's
a great sign of somebody.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was very touching actually, because he had I remember when it was a friend of mine who texted me saying, "You do realise Hugh Jackman's just shared a video of you singing on his Instagram?" And I genuinely thought my pal was winding me up. So it was quite a lovely, it was a lovely moment, and a very sincere moment, you know, because he is nothing but sincere, and he doesn't say anything lightly. So that to me, yeah, I think that'll stay with me
Great
forever.
moment, yeah.
Yeah,
It's a great moment.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a great moment in what at times can be a really difficult industry.
it is the most difficult industry, I think.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, I've been very fortunate. I've had some amazing moments, but I think within the creative industry, and in particular with the world of social media and everything that we're a part of now, people only get a perception of what is going on in your life. You know, and I try to be as honest as I possibly can with everything going on in my life, but obviously, you know, there's things that you want to keep personal and private, but it certainly isn't a bed of roses. Like I think for me, I remember when I moved to Dublin and I started singing with the Nuna. I was working 3 jobs at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
I was working in Starbucks. I was working in a wine bar called Meat and Meat, and I was singing. I was singing at weddings at the weekend, and I was doing a bit of private personal training. So, but then people will see the singing. That's the only thing that would be, you know, shared out to the world, and you know, people will think that that's your life, but it's not.
It's
you know?
tough. It's hand to mouth sometimes.
Yeah.
It's full of rejection. I
Oh,
think
it is.
But I suppose my own experience of this world has been, is you need to learn very early on to cope with rejection.
Oh, absolutely.
And not take it personally.
Oh, that is probably the single most important thing. The fact of the matter is, as an artist in any industry, you are putting yourself. The minute you put yourself out there, you're subjected to criticism, and if you're not fit for that, then it's not for you.
Not for you. And sometimes people come to me with, you know, with their young kids. They might be, you know, everything from 14 all the way up. And they say to me, oh, they have no confidence. Can they join Upfront? And it might give them confidence. And I always like, if they have no confidence, this world is not for them. You actually need to come in with kind of an inner confidence and a resilience that you build as you go through your career. And you get more and more used to it.
Yeah.
But it's certainly something that is tough.
It is, yeah.
It's tough.
And I think you're absolutely right. I think that's probably one of the most important things is, you know, an industry like this is not going to make you confident as such. You have to have you really do have to have, well, first of all, I think you need to have the right people around you. Like, even if it's a small group of people that, you know, I think that's something that I was very fortunate to do early on. When I was reaching out to people in the industry, these were people that I suppose had already been in it for a long time. So I wasn't afraid when they were telling me the things that I needed to hear, not what I wanted to hear. And from that allowed me to steer myself in a direction where it was like, here are my strengths, here are my weaknesses. There are things, and it's important, I think, to realise that there is nothing wrong with saying, this particular side is not for me, and it's okay to say, I am not strong in this department, but in this department, I am. And that is a great thing that I think the deeper you get into it, the more I think you need to filter those things out so that you have a very clear indication of what it is you can really hone in on and just go for it. I really do believe that, you know.
And of course, we're talking about kind of, there's more than 3 dimensions to you. I mean, you're multi-dimensional, but the other career dimension is your modelling career. I think that's where I first met you.
Yeah.
How long are you modelling?
I am modelling 11 years now.
Okay.
11 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was music, acting, modelling.
Modelling,
And they kind of all, I mean, definitely the acting and the modelling complement each
they
other.
do.
Particularly now we find more and more models are asked to act You know, as opposed to, because stills is not as important as it once was.
Yes.
You know, everything is about motion and about communicating. So having, you know, acting as a background is a massive asset
Oh yeah, I mean,
in the modelling world.
yeah, I think they do complement one another, because there is a performative, there's a performative, sorry folks, element to it, because you know, it's like when a director gives you notes. You know, you might do a scene, say in a film or an advert or something, and they'll say, oh, could you try this? Okay, could you try this now? And it's being able to, and that's what you would do. Like, you would give notes to people where it's like, that's great. Could you try maybe moving this way, or could you move like? And some people are very good at taking notes, and some people
Are bad.
yeah,
And you
know.
also have to play a character.
You
So,
do.
you know, you have to say something. This is who you are, and this is the audience you're talking
Yeah,
to.
yeah.
So be this person now.
Yeah.
And that's where acting comes in. You can kind of absorb that, become that character, communicate those values, then go back to being yourself
Exactly,
after.
and then go back, have a cup of tea, put the
Have a
feet up,
cup of tea and
relax
go home.
breathe.
Have a cup of tea and go home.
Yeah.
George, for people watching who are thinking of getting into the broader, because I would say that you're in the broader entertainment industry, what advice would you give them?
I think the first thing I would say is, you have to be, in order to, if this is something that you really want to do, be it singing, acting, modelling, you need to have a real passion for it. Like, it has to be something that you really love, because I think if you don't have that, very quickly it's going to become a tough place to thrive in. So I think you have to be really passionate. Secondly, look and reach out to those that either have done it or are doing it. If there's someone that you know that you can reach out to, always, I think it's important to ask and get advice from people that have really been. And listen, it doesn't have to be like, you know, it doesn't necessarily have to be someone that's a superstar, or, you know, one of the main influencers or things like that. It could be someone that you know that has done it for a while and has enough experience to be able to give you a real insight into what it's actually like, because it is difficult.
It is difficult.
It's not as exciting as you might think it is. It's a lot of, I mean, I'll be totally honest, there have been times where I have literally lived out of my car. I have literally had my wardrobe in my car, going from place to place. But the things that people see are what's on TV, or the photographs that have been taken, or a film that you were part of, or a big campaign on a billboard, and people think, wow, you know, you must be. And it's like, no, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. You have to love it. If you don't love it,
You don't get a wage on a Friday.
no, you don't. Exactly.
Or a pension plan.
And you have to have a lot of things that, and I'll tell you, actually, one of the most important bits of advice I would give is, learn how to do your taxes.
Excellent advice.
Honestly,
Learn how to do your taxes. Yeah.
Learn how to save. Yeah, like, you might find yourself in a position where you get one big job and you get a nice earner from it, and then it's gone.
Then nothing for months.
You know, there's no retainer in this industry, and if you can complement what you're doing, don't be afraid to work. Too many people in this industry are afraid to work, and they want to tell people, oh yeah, I'm a model, but it's like, no, you're modeling now and then, but you're actually lying to yourself in that regard. And that, for me personally, I've done that in the past, and I certainly don't do it anymore. You've got to be honest with yourself. You got to be honest with where you're at, and don't give people this false idea of who it is you truly are, because the more honest you are about who you are, I think the more you'll thrive in a creative industry, and it'll actually bring and draw more out of you, be it as an actor, as a singer, or as a model. And that does translate in front of a camera, because you cannot lie. You cannot lie. Like, people will see right through you. So I think, yeah, learn how to do your taxes.
Learn how to do your taxes.
Be honest.
Be authentic.
Be authentic.
Be honest.
Yeah.
Work hard. Be passionate.
Yeah.
believe in yourself.
You have to.
And a little bit, I think, just to pull back what you said earlier, like you kind of manifest your future.
Yeah, you do.
You know, and then it happens.
Yeah.
And you said to me, and we're going to end on this, George, because I know this is going to happen. When are you playing Carnegie Hall?
Oh, someday. I'm telling you, that has been my dream since I was a boy. And funny, I remember it was only a few months ago. I used to work for the Happy Pair in Greystones years ago, and the two lads, I'd be very friendly with Dave and Steve, the two twins, and they were always very supportive of my singing. So when I used to work for them,
Great guys.
They were like, "Stop working, George. Go out and sing to the customers." That's a true story. Why? Because I was terrible at working in the fruit and veg shop. So I apologise, lads, but they were so good to me. But I remember catching up with them, and they seen the screensaver on my phone of Carnegie Hall, and they were like, "What's that?" And I you know, they're Sagittarius as well, by the way. So I remember chatting to them and telling them that I'm going to sing in Carnegie Hall someday, and they were like, "We believe it." Because they've been following my journey as well, you know. So it's been such a lovely.
They believe it.
Yeah.
You believe it.
They're good
I
guys.
believe it. It is gonna happen.
Someday.
It's gonna happen.
That's the dream. That's the dream.
George, thanks a million for
thank you,
joining
Orla.
us on the first episode back of Ask the Agent. Continued success to you.
Thank you so much, Orla. It means a lot. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Ah,
We're done.
woohoo.
Bye.
Bye, guys.